consistency key to the island's economy. And in sports, Dighton upsets Graydon Sealy in the BCA Under-13 competition.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. The threat of industrial action by the Barbados Union of Teachers remains a distinct possibility for hundreds of teachers across the country. This as thousands of primary school students prepare to sit the 11+ examination in May. BUT President Pedro Shepherd says the union is dissatisfied with the attention being given to the concerns of teachers in Barbados. Mr. Shepherd says following their request to the Minister of Education, Ronald Jones, for an urgent meeting by tomorrow, they've received correspondence from his ministry agreeing to a meeting. However, he says the ministry has not outlined any clear date set for such a meeting. Mr. Shepherd says the union is tired of the alleged disregard the ministry has shown pertaining to the teachers. He says until this face-to-face meeting occurs, the threat of withdrawing the services of teachers remains on the cards.
The letter from the minister gives no indication when he intends to meet. As a matter of fact, the final paragraph of the letter states, and I quote, "I would therefore wish to invite the Barbados Union of Teachers to a meeting to establish the parameters of a promised meeting with the teachers." So that, end of quote, so that final paragraph is saying to me that there is still some time before the Minister of Education meets the teachers of Barbados. And the teachers of Barbados are calling for an urgent meeting with the Minister of Education to discuss issues face to face. And until that meeting is called, the Barbados Union of Teachers will remain adamant in its position that the possibility exists that there could be some action.
Mr. Shepherd has also warned that the BUT's executive will be meeting tomorrow to discuss this latest development, and if there's no resolution by then, the union will meet with the teaching body on Friday to get their views on the next step forward. Well, the recent violent incident between an Ellerslie student and her teacher has caused much discussion across Barbados, forcing responses from ministers and trade unions alike. Two of the teachers' unions, the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union and the Barbados Union of Teachers, believe that the student should be expelled. But Education Minister Ronald Jones, who previously spoke on the issue, warned that if action is warranted against the student, it would have to be taken after due process. Now, with the union and ministers on opposing sides, the CBC News team decided to see what other Barbadians had to say on the topic.
I agree, a story got two sides. Teachers got her side, the student got her side. I ain't want no exact punishment right away. I want to hear both sides. I want it to be fully investigated. The child was wrong, but the teacher was wrong also. So I ain't killing the child because I know teachers, how there could be some of them good at heart, but I got some that are a little not the best.
They need to pull back and investigate it properly because it's two sides to a story. We have to hear it from both sides. Sit down with the student and the teacher and go through a process and see and what answer they come up from before they go ahead and take actions. That's how we look at it. Because we do have fantastic teachers and have fantastic students as well. You know, and we have bad students and bad teachers.
If my information is correct as it relates to the situation, and this school child kick, spit on, whatever with a teacher, an authoritative figure, a person who the parent would have entrusted with the responsibility of taking care of your child in your absence. If it was my kids and they get expelled, we get expelled and we get licked when they get home. I believe, I stand side the trade union. I mean, if they're going to get expelled, they get expelled.
Primary school teachers have been singled out and their contributions to the development of Barbadian children saluted. Minister of Industry, International Business, Commerce and Small Business Development, Donville Innes, believes not much credit is given to these professionals. Mr. Innes, who is also the MP for St. James South, was at the time addressing Class 4 students of the West Terrace Primary School who are preparing to sit next week's Common Entrance examination. 91 students, 50 girls and 41 boys from West Terrace will be among the 3,525 students taking the 11+.
Most of what you learn in life and allow you to function in the world out there as you get older, you have already learned. And you really must thank your teachers at primary school in particular for this. So thank you, teachers, principal, on behalf of the parents and certainly the young charges that you've guided over the last couple of years.
Well, during his pep talk, Mr. Innes encouraged the students to do their best and told them their future is not determined by the secondary school they attend. Principal Beverly Burrows reminded students that their academic life continues after the 11+.
Life doesn't finish on Tuesday, you know. Regardless of wherever you go, you can do well. You can excel. Some of you are very good. I was showing the cameramen some of those boys this morning, setting up the equipment, repairing little things around the office, helping out with the garden, and so many things. You have a myriad of skills and talents. Do not let it go to waste.
The Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property Office is reaching out to Barbadians, highlighting what intellectual property means and how it benefits them. Several students got an understanding of this during the organization's open day to mark World Intellectual Property Day. Minister of Industry Donville Innes says with focus placed this year on the digital side of intellectual property, Barbados has a duty to help those who lose their intellectual power to create work.
We have a duty to safeguard them, to protect them, and to ensure that they get all that is due to them. And it is an area that we sometimes don't pay a lot of attention to. When any of you may want to be a musician, calypso king, or just write songs and sing songs, whatever, you need to appreciate the power and the wealth that lies within what you produce. You know, we tend sometimes only to reflect upon these things when one of the top singers in the world passed away.
And an interesting view on music piracy. Top local entertainer Anderson Blood Armstrong says it has been both helpful and harmful to some artists. He was one of the panelists for a discussion to mark World Intellectual Property Day. Blood said as far back as his days with the band Square One, while pirates deprived them of sales, their wide distribution of the music provided opportunities for live performances.
We are not getting the sale, we're not getting the money from the sales, right? But I mean, we were getting the calls from the territory, so it meant that we were constantly traveling and working. I mean, we had a song on a chart for 51 weeks, number one for 51 weeks, yeah? So, and we knew nothing about it until, you know, one day somebody picked up a phone and said, well, we want you to come to, I think it was Guatemala, I think probably the same Guatemala, right? And perform. And that happened a lot.
Efficient trade can be a major key for the development and growth of Barbados. It comes from Managing Director of Customs Reform and Trade Facilitation Consultants, Bert Cunningham. He was speaking at a training session on the electronic single window with members from various government agencies. Mr. Cunningham, whose clients list includes the World Bank and the World Trade Organization, says that through efficient trade, Barbados can prosper.
The countries that trade well, do well. Their people are prosperous. It's just that simple. If you trade efficiently, you'll have more jobs, higher paying jobs. And I'll tell you a secret. You don't have to be a country with lots of natural resources to trade.
Coming up, the 11+ in full preparation mode. We'll show you just how hard students are working in the build-up to that exam.
My baby. That's what we have to do.
You are a romantic.
I have diabetes, and I'm still the same.
Lucerna. Thanks to its benefits that help control my blood sugar spikes, and provides energy. Drinking it daily.
You, sir, now keep being you.
Water filtration. Water pressure. Fire extinguishers. Pond equipment. It's elemental. Carib Supply is your leading source of fire and water solutions for your home.
Reliable. Anytime, anywhere, instantly, free. That's the benefit of using RBC Royal Online Internet Banking and ATM services. Pay bills, check balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Plus, get a chance to win up to $4,000. Sign up today. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more. Special conditions apply. RBC Royal Bank. It's all about you.
Sandals, sandals, sandals galore. Megville gives you ladies sandals for this week only. Monday to Saturday, one pair of sandals for only $25. So go to Megville on Tudor Street, High Street, and Palmetto Street for a pair of sandals for only $25. This week only, Monday to Saturday. Megville for good shoes at good prices on always.
The Barbados Port Inc. has been working along with the Barbados Workers Union to press ahead with its restructuring exercise, which has included both voluntary and involuntary separation for some workers. This is according to Chief Executive Officer of Barbados Port Inc., David Jean-Marie.
We've been going through a restructuring exercise at the port, a rationalization of sorts, which commenced April 2014. And we've had several meetings with the Barbados Workers Union to discuss this issue. Basically, we're looking at how to improve the efficiencies of the organization. Since that period, we've not been hiring any staff as they retire. So in excess of 100 employees would have left the company via the route of attrition or early retirement or voluntary severance up to present.
A man accused of murdering a St. Michael man has been remanded to Dodds Prison. He's Omar Hurdle, who appeared in the District A Magistrates Court. Hurdle was charged yesterday with the murder of Dwayne Gooding of My Lord's Hill, St. Michael, who died on Sunday. Magistrate Christy Cuffey Sargent remanded Hurdle to prison and to return to court on May 24th. Many of Barbados's outstanding citizens, including several of its national heroes, are buried in and around Bridgetown. And Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office, Senator Patrick Todd, thinks that tours of the historic city are an excellent idea for students of history and social studies. He was speaking at a memorial service to celebrate the life and times of national hero, the Right Excellent Sarah Ann Gill. Senator Todd also told the congregation to use the teachings about Miss Gill, her resilience in the face of adversity, and her commitment to her cause as examples for their own lives.
It is the sacrifice made by these heroes, as well as others mentioned, unsung heroes, that laid the way so that we, the current generation, can enjoy the freedoms and comforts of life which we can often take for granted. When we focus on the work of these national heroes, we understand that we have a rich heritage, and it is our duty as the current generation to take that baton, don't let it drop, and continue their work so that these youngsters in our midst, the future leaders of our country, will inherit a Barbados which is bountiful, so that they can ensure that future generations of Barbadians will indeed enjoy even higher standards of living.
Well, come Thursday, Heroes Day, Barbados's 7 prime ministers will be honored in a special event in National Heroes Square. It's also part of celebrations for the island's 50th anniversary of independence. Well, Chief Executive Officer of the National Cultural Foundation, Cranston Brown, joins us now to talk some more about the event. Cranston, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lisa. Nice to be here.
So tell us about this particular event. It will be honoring the Island 7 Prime Minister. So what can people expect?
Yes, we'll be honoring our Prime Ministers, and Barbadians can expect an evening of beautiful music. That is how we are pitching it. It's an evening of the classics. You know, we're going to have the Barbados National Youth Orchestra, an 80-piece orchestra. We will also have the Royal Barbados Police Force Band, and these will be accompanied by a number of soloists. Chantal Martin, who's coming back home for the concert, Amanda Fields, Gay Gajada, Stephen Brassick, Coco Bernard, Robert Bess. So these are all legends in their own genre. And what we are trying to do this evening is to actually showcase another part of Barbados. Not only the calypso genre, as we are known for, but we are actually showcasing our young through the youth orchestra and the legends through the Barbados Police Force Band.
So that's the singing that's taken care of. Will we have anything else other than singing?
Yes, in the midst of all that, we'll be having, paying tribute to our literary icons, like Kamau Brathwaite, George Lamin, Tom Clark. So we're going to be having readings done by some of our newer spoken word artists, Adrian Green, Alison Seeley Smith, little Ricardo Reed. These are Winston Farrell. So these will be doing readings from the icons.
I understand too that this new anniversary song will also be premiered at this event.
Yes, it's going to be premiered, and Barbadians can expect something that will move them. It's a really beautiful song, and when I heard it for the first time, I got pimples all over.
Is it calypso or is it some other genre?
No, it is not calypso. It's fused with some little soca rhythm, but it's more along the ballad type.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. That is Cranston Brown, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Cultural Foundation, giving us some information about the event that's coming up this Thursday in National Hero Square, saluting our 7 Prime Ministers. And of course, it will be brought live on CBC TV 8. Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. Stay with us.
Where do all those coconut shells go? Or your household garbage? How does waste get diverted from the landfill? You're going to find out on May 2nd.